Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, Park National Bank, Dagger Law, the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Standing Stone Bank, Fairfield DD, North Body Shop, Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Buckeye Toyota, the Carriage Company, Huddle Tire and Auto, the Fairfield County Commissioner's Office, South Central Power, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
Carroll. IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings Game of the Week. Tonight we got another one from the Mid-State League Buckeye Division as the Liberty Union Lions take on the Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs. Hi again, everybody. I'm Josh Messerly, joined alongside by Marion Royster on a perfect night for high school football.
Absolutely gorgeous, Josh. Great to be out here tonight.
Indeed it is, as we have the Bulldogs coming in number 2 in the latest AP poll in Division 4, 5-0, 2-0 in the Mid-State League Buckeye. Liberty Union comes in 2-3 overall, 0-2 in the Mid-State League Buckeye Division. Marion, a couple teams going in opposite directions. Liberty Union started out playing some good football. We saw them a couple weeks ago. And, since that Amanda Clear Creek game, things have kind of turned south for them.
Yeah, it hasn't gone the way they've wanted the last couple weeks, but they're still a team with a lot of talent. They've done some really nice things in bits and pieces throughout the season, but it just seems that they just haven't been able to put that complete game together just quite yet. They've had good starts in certain instances, good middles in the end, but just trying to put it all together and play a complete game, I think, is what will be their key tonight, regardless if they win or lose, and just continue to get better.
There you see a look over the beautiful Carl Fell Stadium and the campus here at Bloom-Carroll High School. And they've got a lot of things to be excited for here at Bloom-Carroll. 5-0 record. They come in a big win last week on the road. We saw them against Amanda Clear Creek. Really a surprising game, and we say that not necessarily the fact that the Bulldogs won it, the way they won it. They just dominated on the defensive side.
Yeah, completely dominated. It was a very surprising finish, and to Bloom-Carroll's credit, they really answered the bell. That's a place that they've had difficulty winning over the past several years. I think it was an opportunity for Coach Bartholomew to challenge his team, really put them to the test and kind of test their merit to see where they're at as far as a team. We've talked about it at length. They have big plans for this season. Thoughts, of course, to win the league, but also to make a deep run in the playoffs as they did last season. So beating Amanda Clear Creek in their home stadium at the Pit was a really big hurdle that they were able to cross, and a big milestone for this program.
Indeed it was. We'll talk a little bit more about these two teams as the night goes on, as this has been the Personal Touch Party Rental pregame show. Carol and Eric Whittington would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events in Lancaster. They're a small family-owned business and have been servicing the Central 2003. They would love to help plan your next event, weddings, special events, even corporate events, all with a personal touch. They can be reached at 740-689-6991. As you see the Bulldogs taking the field. And before we get to the opening kickoff, how about our keys to the game tonight, Marion, which are brought to you by North Body Shop, providing quality customer service, parts, and reliability since 1979. Owner Mark North will provide you with a free written warranty on each estimate. That's Mark North of North Body Shop. He'll treat you right.
Yeah, Josh, we'll start with the visiting Lions tonight. I think number one, first and foremost, for them, they need to take care of the football. Ball security is really paramount for this team tonight. Bloom-Carroll's too good. Give them additional chances than the Lions if they want any chance to win this game this evening. They really have to stay disciplined on defense, obviously. Bloom-Carroll does a fantastic job of being patient, waiting for the perfect time to strike with a big play. The Lions have to be ready for that at all times. Then finally, win the battle with the special teams. The kicking game is really one area where they might actually have an advantage tonight. They have a very, very strong kicker, and some opportunities in the return game to get some hidden yardage against this stout defense might help them in the field position battle.
Tonight's opening kickoff is brought to you by Sheridan Funeral Home. Sheridan Funeral Home is proud to be supporting high school football. They've been servicing the communities of Lancaster and Fairfield County for over 100 years. So the Bulldogs will be receiving. And they'll be moving from north to south here at beautiful Carl Fell Stadium. It's been a few years since I've been here for a game. In fact, there was still grass on the field the last time I was at this stadium for a game.
So it has been a while then.
It has been. Back deep for, you see Bloom-Carroll head coach Wade Bartholomew in season number 8. A mark of 58 and 22 with the Bulldogs. We'll talk more about him. He's on as back deep for the Bulldogs. It is Bo Weiscarver and Dylan Armentrout. His Storm Wolfel is ready to tee it up for Liberty Union. And we are underway. Short kick. That'll hit the 10. Armentrout will take it up the side. Cuts through a crease. And he's going to have good starting field position for the Bulldogs as he brings it out across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
Nice starting field position for Bloom-Carroll on that one. And I think more than anything, Coach Bartholomew talked about it earlier this week. Being consistent on offense is going to be one of the things that they really have to do. Prove to themselves tonight that they can do. Get a couple of first downs on each drive that they have. Also really just start out early, stay sharp. Get out to an early lead. Try not to let Liberty Union hang around. The longer a team like Liberty Union with some talent hangs around, the more opportunities they think that they have a chance to win. So they'll want to strike first and really get out to an early lead if they can.
KJ Benedict leads the offense out, the 5'8", 165-pound senior. He will send Totten in motion from left to right. Benedict drops back. All kinds of time, heaves it for the right side. The catch is made, and stepping out of bounds is Brandon Totten on the reception. Easy pitch and catch for a first down.
Easy pitch and catch, and if you see on that one, Josh, he had plenty of time in the backfield that time. Benedict just done an amazing job throughout the season and even in the last season of just delivering the football. We see on the replay here, excellent job here by the offensive line. Plenty of time for KJ Benedict to step up and make a play.
And back to live action on the carry, it's Chase Plants. Plants pushing near another first down. He had 6 carries for 98 yards and a touchdown a week ago against Amanda Clear Creek. And we found out late before the game tonight that defensive tackle Slade McClaskey is injured and will not play in this game. And you already see Bloom-Carroll attacking that interior of the Lions D-line.
Yep, that's a big blow for the Lions tonight, so they're going to have someone step up because Bloom-Carroll, as you said, Josh, is going to look to take advantage of that opportunity if they can.
Blitz coming. Play action over the middle. It is caught by Weiscarver. He'll have a first down, but there is a penalty marker back near the line of scrimmage. And we'll get a chance to hear for the first time tonight from our referee, Justin Bradford.
Looks like they might have got the Bulldogs with a chop block.
And that will cost the Bulldogs a first down.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense, number 79 and number 50. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
That'll put it all the way back at the Bulldogs' 48.
That's unfortunate for the Bulldogs because that was really a perfectly executed play-action pass. Pulled it right out of the gut of the running back on that one. Was able to hit Weiscarver over the middle for a nice gainer. But even on a quick play like that, a lot of times you see the lineman try to get the defensive lineman on the ground with a cut, and if it doesn't come at the right time with another offensive lineman hitting them, you can get yourself in a chop block situation.
First and 25, and similar plays. They tried to hit Weiscarver, but Benedict's pass was behind him, falling incomplete.
Yeah, pass behind him on that one, but looks like they see something there that they can continue to attack. And Coach Bartholomew talked about that earlier in this week, the aggressiveness of Liberty Union. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take advantage of that with the linebackers pushing forward, and even on that one with some cadence action, able to get them jumping, get a free 5 yards back.
Dead ball. Coachman, defense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's an area that Coach Dan Shirey in his 4th year at Liberty Union talked about cleaning up. Says his team needs to clean up mistakes, and there's one right there giving the Bulldogs a free 5 yards, makes it 2nd and 25 from the 48. Quickly out into the flats, catch is made by Totten, and he's dropped immediately. As that on defense was Jacob Denny on the stop.
That might be one of the best kept secrets for the Lions, Josh. Not only is Denny an amazing pass catcher on the offensive side, but he does a pretty good job from that free safety spot and is a physical kid that can come up and thump kids when given the opportunity.
We saw that in the previous play there. So it's third down. So it's third and long. Here's Wisecarver on the tunnel screens, got a crease up the middle, cutting through, and he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And for Bo Wisecarver, believe it or not, that's his first receiving touchdown of the season.
Very, very surprising to hear that, Josh, because Wisecarver might arguably be one of the best, if not the best athletes on this team. And when you have a great athlete like that who runs well in space with the football, best thing you can do is just get him the ball and let him do his work. He's already scored on a punt return, and this wasn't really too much different from a punt return. Perfectly executed rocket screen, tunnel screen, whatever you want to call it, 6 for the Bulldogs. Kick
is up, and the kick is good from Trayton McKee.
We'll watch here on the replay again. Another key to this here, the offensive lineman, Josh, as you'll see, almost forms a wall. You see number 67 out there for Dylan Chittum for the Bulldogs, a couple other defensive linemen. Wisecarver does a nice job of setting up his blocks, turns on the Jets at the right perfect time, and motors into the end zone to get the Bulldogs out to an early lead.
Wisecarver, a 6'1", 190-pound senior, already has an offer from Western Michigan, and wouldn't surprise me if other MAC schools maybe look at number 1 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all. I was not aware of that, but it doesn't surprise me one bit. Again, a tremendous athlete. Would love to see him go down the road. You talk about a MAC school. If he could, my alma mater, Ohio University.
Or he can go to Oxford. I'm okay with that as well.
Oh, well, yeah. My wife went to Miami, so I don't hate them as much as I used to.
I'm sure it's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. Household divided.
That's right. Manson and Courts back deep. And Manson bobbles it. It's on the turf, and the Bulldogs come up with it. Get a look and see who came up with that one. And that one just slid right off the chest of Camden Manson. And it was Carter Beppler who came up with the fumble recovery for the Bulldogs, and they have it gift wrapped just outside the red zone.
And we talked about that in the pregame, Josh. Ball security, paramount. Mistakes like that, when you give an offense, like Bloom-Carroll's, an opportunity with a short field here to blow it open to a 14-point lead, don't want to do that.
Benedict rolling out. He will throw it as a man wide open, but Totten could not haul that one in, trying to walk the tightrope on the far sideline. Nice job on the last drive by the Bulldogs, 39 yards. Yeah, we don't see that, but it's 8 plays for 68 yards, 1 minute, 57 seconds time possession. Then the score by Wisecarver, and they're off to it again here on the offensive side. Second and 10. Here's Plants. Finds a crease, moves it near the 10-yard line, gets stacked up and driven backwards. He's going to have enough for a first down. And there on the stop was Troy Myers, among others, for the Lions.
And what a luxury it is, Josh, for the Bulldogs. I'm sure we'll talk about it a lot tonight, but to have two backs like Armentrout and Plants that both run so well, almost interchangeable in the offensive backfield. Just turn the ball and hand it, and know you're going to get a downhill, hard-driving runner, regardless of who's back there.
First and 10. And it's going to be a handoff, and the Turf Monster makes a tackle there in about the 12-yard line on Chase Plants.
Still an opportunity here for the Bulldogs to get a first down without getting a touchdown. So we've seen them utilize a couple times earlier tonight, the rollout pass to the flats. You got a guy at 5 yards and 15 yards. This might be something that they look to do to maybe get a first down or even a touchdown.
Second and 10 from the 11. Play action, Benedict rolling to his left, looking, and he's going to tuck it and run. Gets by the first man as he shook Austin Eady. And it looks like Schreier there to clean it up.
Yeah, when they look at this on Monday, they're going to see that they had Dodds open in the back of the end zone. There was a couple times Taunton earlier on an earlier play that Benedict maybe just held onto the ball a tad bit too long. If he releases it just a tad bit earlier, you've got the receiver coming open, opportunity to make a play there. Didn't get it to him fast enough. He got covered up, and now they're in a third down situation.
That's very similar to a score that Dodds had last week against Amanda Clear Creek.
Yes, it was.
This one thrown to Plants. He bobbles it and can't haul it in inside the 5-yard line. Edie was with him step for step, and Plants may not have gotten in even if he hauled it in.
Yeah, good coverage there by Edie. Nice job by the Lions defense as a whole to hold, not allow them to get six as we look at the replay here. Perfectly delivered ball by Benedict. Drops it right in there. And the bobble, he might have caught it on the second opportunity had Edie not been there, but Plants knows he's got to catch that cleanly on the first time through.
This will be a field goal attempt for Trayton McKee, 1 of 4 on the year. This kick is up, and the kick is good. And that one's going to be about 24 yards out. And that gets the Bulldogs a 10-0 lead here with 8:02 to go in the first quarter. That was an area that Coach Bartholomew talked about wanting to see more consistency out of his PAT field goal unit.
Yes, he did. And while you hate to see a drive stall inside the red zone there, it's still an opportunity to get his field goal unit out on the field. Try an opportunity. This one's from the left hash, not always easy to kick from with a right-footed kicker, but good for the Bulldogs to boot that one in there. And Coach Bartholomew knows that as they get later in the season, particularly in the Mid-State League and even into the playoffs, having crucial plays in the kicking game is going to be ideal. And if they're able to get more confidence into their freshman kicker, McKee, they'll have a much better opportunity later as the season goes.
McKee lets this one fly, and it'll be taken inside the 10. Straight up the field is Aiden Jones. Jones brings it out to the 22-yard line. And finally, we get a chance to see the offense for Liberty Union led by Jack Brown, a 6'2", 180-pound senior quarterback. Took over for Caden Carroll, who got hurt in the opener against Heath and underwent knee surgery this week and on the road to recovery. And Lions will be loving to get him back next year for one more year, but certainly a different look to this offense with Brown under center rather than Carroll. Yeah,
and Brown's done a nice job, especially, he didn't come into the season as a quarterback, but he's adapted to it, done well, made some plays. They'll need him to make as many as he can tonight, obviously.
And no running room there as Braden Schreier runs right up the middle and into the teeth of the defense. Six plays, 22 yards, a minute 57, a 24-yard field goal for the Bulldogs on the last drive. It's going to be probably a tough night for Liberty Union trying to run into the teeth of the defense for Bloom-Carroll with Farrell and Craner and Kirby and others.
Yeah, those three are as good as they come up front.
Brown rolling out on second down. He's going to tuck it and run, and he will duck out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
And that's the thing Jack Brown has done a really nice job with, Josh, this year thus far. He's done a nice job when rolling out. He goes through his read progressions, may not be able to deliver the football as well as Caden Carroll might have done, but he knows when he can get down the field, he turns the jets on, able to show that athleticism, get 5, 6, 7-yard chunk plays to help try to move the chains.
He's got that senior maturity, just doesn't have the experience as quarterback,
exactly.
Which is starting to come slowly for him.
Yep, but he can play football, that's for sure.
And not much running room there for the Lions, although the way the linesman on the near side comes in, they are saying move the chains, and it's going to be enough for a first down. As Schreier picks up the first down. They haven't moved the chains, but they flipped the down box. And now they'll move the chains.
And Josh, I hesitate to say this because it is still very early, 3 plays early even, but the offensive line for Liberty Union in those 3 plays looked very, very well, up to the task against this very, very tough defensive front from Bloom-Carroll. Nice job.
That's one area Coach Shirey wants to see improvements out of his offensive line because they graduated all 5 starters from a year ago. And we've got whistles and flags to stop this play.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense, number 61, 5-yard penalty, first down.
There's our referee, Justin Bradford, and we'll mention the rest of the officiating crew here in a moment. It'll be 1st and 5 after the penalty. Schreier on the carry, and he had little room to run as coming up to make the play was Chase Plants. Plants comes into the game with 15 solo tackles.
And you can see why he has 15 solo tackles, and will arguably get a ton more tonight because he does a nice job of shedding blocks. On that one, took on the block by the pulling lineman on that one. Had a nice job of using his hands, push, pull, shed, as they say, with that technique. Get off the block as quickly as possible and made the tackle for not much gain.
2nd down, Schreier again breaks a tackle, pushes out across the 40. Luke Farrell and company in there on the stop. We talked about how Farrell has really dominated the last couple of years, first team All-Ohio. And just what still impresses me, he's a defensive lineman in football, but he's a hurdler when it comes to track season.
Right, yeah, we talked about that last week. That just shows the athleticism. When you got a kid with that kind of size, with that kind of athleticism, just so difficult to block, so difficult to stop on the defensive side.
Big 3rd down early on for the Lions, trying to keep this possession alive. It'll be the bubble screen. Catches made by Manson. He's going to have the 1st down as he's wrestled to the turf by Brandon Dodds.
And that's one of their favorite plays in the playbook. We saw that a couple weeks ago when we covered their game against Amanda Clear Creek. They ran the heck out of that bubble screen, left, right, didn't matter what happened. And a good reason why they're able to continue to run that bubble screen with success is because their wide receivers do such a good job of blocking on the perimeter. They got big physical kids on the outside, starting with Jacob Denny, that are able to control the corners to allow those slot receivers to get upfield.
Henson goes in motion here on 1st down. Hit right at the line of scrimmage. I think that was Bro Weiscarver flying in there to pop him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, also number 50, Aiden Curdy, did a nice job. Just the linebackers in general, great job of pursuit. They pursue as well as a linebacking group as I've seen, because they have such great athleticism and such a good job by the front 3 guys that allow them to really roam free and not have those blockers get to the 2nd level.
A gain of about 2 on that carry. Brown rolling out. And he'll just toss this one into the bench of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, just 2-man route on that one. They ran Denny on almost kind of like a flat or an out route, a Z route if you want to call it that. And then they had a guy running behind him, number 13. That was Manson on the corner route. But great job by the Bulldogs, particularly Weiscarver, who didn't bite on anything, was able to stay deeper than the deepest is, say, on the flag pattern. Brings up a 3rd down for the Lions.
Crowd's going to drop back, sets up the screen, and that one was nearly picked off. Andrew Marshall comes up from his linebacking position to get a hand on it.
Yeah, dangerous play, but I see what they were trying to set up there. They had Brown rolling to the left side to hopefully have the linebackers pursue and follow him, and then they had Denny coming around on his own version of a tunnel screen, trying to get him the football with the linebackers pursuing to the left, but Denny getting the ball on the right side. Didn't execute on that time. Nice job on the outside by getting that knocked down, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to that very, very soon.
Wolfel gets this one off, a short kick that will hit just outside the 30 and take a nice roll for the Lions down inside the 20. And it'll be touched up at the 19-yard line. It's a good roll off of that punt. And the Bulldogs will start 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line. I'd like to remind you tonight's first half scoreboard sponsor is brought to you by Buckeye Toyota. Buckeye Toyota would like to wish all the local athletes best of luck this season. Buckeye Toyota is your hometown dealer that is here to help. Visit us online at mybuckeyetoyota.com. You see a nice crowd on hand here at Carl Fels Stadium. Seeing some sweatshirts and jackets probably for the first time this season.
And that's what you have in Ohio, Josh. We had the last week where we were sweating in the booth. This week we've got jackets in the booth, and but happy to still have decent weather into week 6.
Collision at the line of scrimmage on that first down carry.
Number 15, Dylan Armentrout.
Armentrout was the ball carry, and we'll see who had the big hit.
Oh, wow.
Boom. Talk about lowering the
Huge
boom.
hit. Oh, my goodness.
And that number
Like
is
number 17,
yeah.
Barrett Young, that came in from his linebacking position like a missile. Ooh.
Now it's second down, another big hit. Schreier gets Armentrout in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Bartholomew said that he was concerned about. He actually said that he really admired the Lions for the way that they attack downhill from the defensive side. I mean, they really just, their linebackers, they see, they react, and they go. And that's why I think on that first drive, they were able to have some success with the play-action pass. Now they're trying to go to the run, and those linebackers are seeing, and as soon as they see the ball go in there, they're just immediately attacking, coming downhill, and striking those linebackers with vengeance.
Brings up third and long. Benedict will work out the shotgun. Drops back and throws it too far for Belper. And a big 3-and-out turned in by the Liberty Union defense, exactly what they needed.
Nice job. Give the QB hurry on that one to Jacob McLean. We called his name a lot a couple weeks ago when they played Amanda Clear Creek. He is the one guy, well, not the one guy, but probably the most apt on this defensive side to get after the quarterback, get home on a couple sacks here and there. We saw it against Amanda Clear Creek, and that time he was able to force Benedict into an errant throw and bring up fourth down.
And you got to think with McClaskey now out, it's going to fall largely on McLean to provide a lot of that pressure for the defensive line.
Even more so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Chase Plants will punt it away, averaging 39.7 per punt. And he won't get that on this punt as that one's off the side of his foot and out of bounds. And it will be out of bounds as they step it off. Official moving inside the 30. And it's going to be around the 27-yard line. So excellent starting field position for the Lions, trailing by 10 here with 2:15 to go in the first.
Yeah, and this is the area, again, I talked about it in the pregame where, special teams, plays in the kicking game could make or break this game, particularly for the Lions to have opportunities to have a short field. I talked about it, them being able to possibly make some plays in the return game, but having a shank punt might be just as good because they can start the ball with a short field against this tough defense.
And so Coach Bartholomew on the sideline upset about something. Maybe not happy with the punch as Brown will work an empty set. And he had to get rid of that one right away, paid the price for it, but he fits it in near a first down as Jacob Denny hauls in his first reception of the night. Denny had 5 catches for 78 yards in the loss to Tees Valley last week.
Yeah, and we didn't have the stats for the game that we covered, but I'm almost certain that he went over 100 yards in that game, just breaking off chunk play after chunk play. Nice job on that last one to go down. You saw kind of the versatility there, almost a possession type opportunity to go down, make the tough catch, and force a short second down.
Brown in trouble. Find someone open, and he will go down for a sack. As that pocket collapsed on him, he had to duck out, and Luke Farrell and Clay Dozer combined to wrap him up.
There's Farrell again. We'll see it on the replay here. Farrell's just immediately in pursuit, just gets him around the corner, and he closes so quickly. Josh, you saw that hurdler speed right there as he was able to run down Brown. Brown is not a slow kid.
No.
We know that. He can run and had an opportunity to at least run and maybe get a positive play out of that one. But, Luke Farrell was not having that.
3rd and 6 from the 23. Brown scrambling, and he will throw that away as he was planted back at the 35-yard line again by Dozer. Now bring up 4th down, but the Lions do have a good kicking game as Storm Woelfel, we saw in that game against Amanda Clear Creek, a little bit of a kicking duel.
Yes, it was, and he made some very, very long kicks, 30-plus yards on a couple of them, has the leg strength, obviously, and has shown a great deal of accuracy as well. So this is an opportunity to get Liberty Union on the board, and one that they'll hope to have Storm convert.
They're going to put it down to 30. That makes it a 40-yarder from the left hash. Kick is up, and it is good. How about that? And the Lions get on the board.
Very impressive kick by Storm Wolf there. Even better understanding that the pressure was really coming from the Bulldogs. Wolfville didn't bat an eye, just stepped right into the kick. We'll watch here on the replay. Wolfville gets whole leg into it. Gets some nice height into it as well. And boots it through for 3 points.
Didn't clear it by a lot, but all you got to do is get it over the crossbar.
Right, and again, I think he had to shorten his, I don't know if he shortened his motion, but understood that he had to quicken it up a bit and was able to still put it through despite that rush by the Bulldogs.
So that makes it a 7-point game here inside of a minute to play in the first quarter. I'm sure it's got to give the Lions a lot of confidence after dropping a couple straight, losing to Amanda, Clear Creek, and Taze Valley in consecutive weeks. You know, coming into a game like this when you're playing an undefeated team, you need something to hang your hat on.
Yes, agreed. And I was actually pretty surprised to see their score against Taze Valley because they have some athletes and they have some talent. Again, it's just a matter of them playing smart, not turning the ball over. They had the early turnover tonight, but were able to bounce back and now have 3 on the board.
Armentrout on the return. Gets it out shy of the 30-yard line, so following up the field goal with pretty decent starting field position for Bloom-Carroll.
Another solid stick by Camden Manson on that kick coverage time. Nice job. And they're continuing to be physical tonight, Josh. They're showing that they are not intimidated by this Bulldog team. They understand that they're a 5-0 team, but they have the talent to stay in this game. And if they continue to play physical, this might be a close one as we continue to go here.
Benedict looking downfield, going to launch it for Weiscarver. He hauls it in at the 40, and he's going to take it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. One play drive for Bloom-Carroll gets them on the board once more.
Talk about a coming out party for Weiscarver. Hadn't scored an offensive touchdown coming into the night and scores 2 in the first half, first quarter, mind you. Just an excellent play there by Benedict. Perfect ball throwing on the run there. Drops it right in the bread basket for Weiscarver, and another touchdown for Bloom-Carroll.
Key's extra point is good. We'll get another look at that touchdown here right now.
We're going to look on the replay here. We start here. We catch on the rollout, but excellent job by Benedict throwing on the run there. So difficult to do, to throw with accuracy on the run there, but he drops it right in there for Bo Weiscarver. Steps out of the tackle of the defender and gets a second offensive touchdown of the season. Nice job there.
That's good for 71 yards. And, we talk about the receiving options for Bloom-Carroll, but for Benedict, that's his 13th passing touchdown on the year to 1 interception.
Yeah. I mean, he's as accurate as they come, Josh. He's done a tremendous job with that all season. 70+% completion percentage. As you mentioned, the touchdown to interception ratio is just phenomenal, and just does a great job of managing this offense. They talk about sometimes that could be a negative connotation. I don't think that it is, because you have a guy that doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, makes big plays when he has to, and gets this offense going.
Aiden Jones on the return, gets it out to the 25, 26-yard line for the Lions. And it's not just this year that Benedict has been efficient with the football. Last year, 15 touchdowns, no interceptions. For his career, with the 2 touchdowns tonight, 31 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. That's about as efficient as they come when you talk about quarterback play, and something that I'm sure makes Coach Bartholomew just happy as a clam when he sees, a quarterback that can deliver the ball doesn't turn the ball over, does a good job protecting the ball, but can also take strikes downfield, make big plays, which is what keeps this offense going.
The Lions will try and build on the success of their last drive, which resulted in a field goal, and not finding much success up the middle as the defense for Bloom-Carroll swarming Nick Toole and a few others in there to wrap up Braden Schreier.
Yeah, and this is when the Bloom-Carroll defense starts licking their chops, when they get in opportunities like this. They get a 2-touchdown lead, a 3-touchdown lead. It's the end of the first quarter, and they just know that they, get kind of in a groove, and they can almost just kind of tee off on the offense that's coming, whether they're coming at them with a run or a pass. They're just going to be aggressive and attack and look to, slam the door shut on the defensive side.
That brings us to the end of the first quarter here at Carl Fell Stadium, 17-3. Bloom-Carroll leading Liberty Union. And while we have a moment, we want to acknowledge our IVP Sports crew tonight. And on the cameras, it is, as always, Jim Spires on our top camera. Our mid camera is Jason Roush. Tom Russo providing you the great shots along the sidelines. And in the truck, we have our director-producer Bob Campetti, Donnie Ziegfeld on graphics, and glad to have back with us Beth Campetti doing stats. I don't know about you, but having a statistician on our crew makes me sound smarter. I think you probably agree. We really love having a statistician. Great to see Beth back.
It is so great to have Beth back and have those stats. You don't need as much help to sound smart as I do. Let me tell you, Josh, you do a great job. But having those stats just adds another element to the game that we're able to give to the fans here. Just makes the experience of the viewing that much better. So glad to have Beth back for those stats.
Indeed, indeed. 2nd and 9 as we start the second quarter. And it's Manson with the reception, taking it out to the 31-yard line.
And again, not a bubble screen on that one, but a slot screen, if you will, nonetheless. And those are able to execute because Denny on that play particularly does an incredible job blocking, holding that corner, not holding literally like as a penalty, but keeping him at bay, not allowing him to get there. And that's 3-4 yards, good play there for the Lions.
You got to think receivers like Manson can benefit from all the extra attention that Jacob Denny gets.
Exactly, very good point.
3rd and 5. Brown being chased. Eludes one defender, but not the second. Luke Farrell there for the sack as that pocket collapsed quickly.
Yeah, Farrell's going to get the sack, but the assist should go to Aiden Kirby because he was able to apply the pressure that didn't allow Brown to take a deep shot. They were setting up an out and up from the slot receiver. He ran into the flats and was cutting up the sidelines. Might have had an opportunity for something, but Brown did not have enough time to deliver the football out there. Credit to Aiden Kirby for setting it up, and then Farrell coming in and finishing it off.
4th sack for Luke Farrell this season. Warfel to punt it away. It's blocked. It's a live ball, and it's a scramble, and I believe the Lions came up with it. So the Bulldogs will take over at the 20-yard line.
Was that Farrell again on the block?
It may well have been. He's getting some high fives.
Yeah.
He at least did something to influence that play.
I'm going to be interested to see that replay because I believe he was lined up right over the long snapper, and it is not often that you see the guy lined up directly over the long snapper get through to make a block like that. But Farrell has enough athleticism, if anybody does, to do it.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Benedict pump fakes, throws it for the end zone, wide open, touchdown.
Wow.
And it's Brandon Totten who had 3 touchdowns, had a touchdown coming into tonight's game, gets another one here.
And we'll watch the replay here. We'll get to the replay here, but just incredible play there by Benedict. I mean, that was clinical quarterback play on that, stepping up in the pocket as it collapsed around him, delivers a strike to Totten right in the back of the end zone, touchdown.
3rd touchdown pass of the night for KJ Benedict, matching his total from last week. McKee tacks on another extra point. And with 10:27 to go until halftime, it is now 24-3 in favor of Bloom-Carroll.
Yeah.
And my, how this game has quickly changed. It was 10-0 at one point. Liberty Union had the ball deep in Bloom-Carroll territory. They only come away with a field goal.
Yep.
And then Bloom-Carroll puts it on the gas and pulls away.
Yeah, this defense, again, is so good. It's almost like they smell blood in the water with certain instances like that. They get a 17-3 lead, and it's like, okay, here we go. You know, force a 3 and out, a couple really big plays, get a sack, and then the block punt to set up a one-play drive for the offense. It's complimentary football is what it is at its finest. You get a big play on defense to make a sack, a big play in the kicking game, blocking a punt, and then the offense knows enough to come in, keep that momentum going, call a play to get Totten open in the back of the end zone. Benedict does a fantastic job stepping up in the pocket, avoiding the rush, delivering a strike. Coach Bartholomew just has to be grinning from ear to ear. That's just complete football in all three phases right there.
Bulldogs special teams also taking advantage. Another muffed kick, but it bounced right up into the chest of the returner. And I believe that was number 6 on the return, Sam Howell.
And look who makes the play on the kickoff return there. Luke Farrell.
Exactly.
That's the nose tackle, ladies and gentlemen. Getting down the field
when
and
in
making
doubt,
a play. And
when in doubt, who made the play?
What's that?
When in doubt, who made the play?
Luke Farrell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See if the Lions offense can get something going here. Had a couple of drives early on that kind of sputtered once they got near midfield. A handoff and nowhere to run. There were some holes early on for the Lions, but it seems like this defense just makes good adjustments.
Yes, they do. They make incredible adjustments, and they don't have that first week of the season we saw the Lancaster team with a fancy board where they were able to look and see and make adjustments with the videos as it went there. But they do just as good a job as any, and that's a credit to this coaching staff that they know when they're able to see what the offense is doing, make adjustments on the sideline, and put their guys in position.
It's Brendan Reagan, a junior, 6'3", 350-pound offensive lineman. A big loss if he were not able to return for the Lions.
Yeah, huge loss, Josh, if he's not able to continue. He perhaps might be their best lineman, definitely is their biggest lineman. Anchors the middle of that offensive line for the Lions. Did such a good job. We saw him a couple weeks ago and did a nice job so far tonight of really, again, establishing the middle there in those first couple drives where they were able to move the ball even though they didn't get points. But it'll be a blow if he's not able to continue. Hopefully he'll be able to get to his feet on his own power.
Yeah, it's a Liberty Union team replacing 5 starters from last year. How difficult is that? To have to replace all 5 starters up front.
It's huge. It really is because the offensive line is a position group that really has to develop that cohesion, trust in one another, and almost move as one. All 5 guys. So when you can't have 2 or 3 continue with continuity, and you're starting over with 5 new guys. That's a big ask. And they were able to do a decent job of it tonight, but unfortunately does not look good as Reagan is limping off with
he's
help.
not putting any weight on that leg either. So 2nd and 12 as play resumes for Liberty Union. I believe Mason Love will be checking in to replace Reagan. There's a handoff up the middle. And not much running room there. Young on the carry. We'll get back to the original line of scrimmage. Still brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, you talk about crucial 3rd downs. This is one that I know it's a big ask with 3rd and long. Unfortunately, they don't really have a 3rd and reasonable, as they say. 10 yards is asking a lot, especially against this defense, but would be huge if they're able to continue this drive, give the offense an extra breath or two, and maybe try to establish a little bit of momentum after those big plays by Bloom-Carroll.
Brown looks to his right, trying to find Denny. It's picked off And this one may go back for a touchdown, and it will. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And there go the lights here at Carl Fell Stadium. We were expecting that earlier, but they're going to do it for the Broden.
Yeah, and that looked to be the same type of play that the Lions tried to do before with the out and up. Try to get the guy, and he maybe had an open opportunity the first time around, but Brown didn't have the time to throw the ball. This time he had the time, but the Bulldogs were completely onto it. Corner stayed back, didn't bite on the short route, and corner did an amazing job of just reading that play, making the catch, and returning it for the pick six. As we look here on the we'll go back to the replay here in just a second.
Mentioned that McKee did tack on the extra point for Bloom-Carroll to make it 31-3. Almost looked like Brown was kind of locked in on Jacob Denny, who was lined up on that side, and he was going to throw to him regardless on that third down.
Yeah, he likely did, Josh. And again, that might have been because they told him on that earlier play that it was open on the sideline, which I think it was. He just didn't have the time to get it there. But the one thing that you can't do is just because it was open on the time before, pick your receiver out of the huddle. And we talked about it again. Brown, they're asking a lot of him to come in here, play a position that he wasn't comfortable, may not have been comfortable playing, but certainly one that he wasn't expecting to play going in. And, those are things that happen when you have a little bit of inexperience at that position, and especially against a defense, an opportunistic defense like Bloom-Carroll. They're going to take opportunities like that to the house whenever you give them to them.
Certainly a shell-shocked Liberty Union team. Had once had it at 10-3, and since then it's been all Bloom-Carroll, and the officials will blow this one dead. After this call, we'll get a chance to see that interception.
That will go. Nice.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, nice job. That was Brody Bishop's first interception of the season. And what a one to have, a pick six in a league game like this, one that I'm sure he'll not soon forget.
Well, if you're going to get one, make it count, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So offsides against Bloom-Carroll on the kickoff. They'll re-kick it 5 yards back. Should give the Lions a little bit better field position. And bringing it up is Aiden Jones, and he'll bring it out near the 30-yard line. So the Lions trying to get something positive here going to halftime.
And that's what you need, Josh. You said just something positive, just a decent drive. Hopefully, you always want to score when you're on offense, but even if it's something where they can move the chains, get into the red zone, perhaps even get a field goal if nothing else. But just to have some positive momentum, because they came out, as good as many teams that have faced Bloom-Carroll have done this season. And that wasn't to say that they scored a lot of points, but they moved the ball and got a couple first downs, which is saying a lot. So I think they have the ability to do it. They certainly have the talent. They just need to put it together and try, maybe pick themselves off, dust themselves off, and take advantage of this.
There's a good look at Jack Brown, which snap over his head, and it's just all coming apart at the seams right now for Liberty Union.
Yeah, and this was something that we saw a little bit in the previous game that we covered with Amanda Clear Creek. The unforced errors. Amanda Clear Creek, it came in the form of drop passes, a couple interceptions, or a couple fumbles. Tonight it's been an interception, a block punt, and now we see a high snap that now puts them in a second and long situation. 24 yards to be exact. Those are things that you just can't do against a team that's as good as Bloom-Carroll is.
Is there some sort of intimidation factor walking in when you're playing an undefeated team at their house?
Well, I think there might be some. A lot of times it's just kind of you're so hype early on in the game, and you come out kind of guns a-blazing. And especially if you get a stop or two and you're able to get going, a lot of times that's difficult to maintain, especially for a team that hasn't really had a whole lot of success for an entire season or for an entire game. So you just, that consistency to continue to just execute after that initial kind of ramp up is gone, that can lead to an unraveling or a letdown, and they've had a few of them.
Third down and long, and Austin Eady has nowhere to go. And we talked about it last week. You pointed it out, Marion. This defense just really rallies to the football, and there's a perfect example.
Yeah, they run to the football better than any group that I've seen. I mean, it's just – and again, a lot of it comes because they have so much athleticism on both sides of the ball. As we look here at the replay, Clay Dozier just in an incredible position. Didn't bite at all on the flow, going the opposite way, ready for the throwback pass, and just comes and gives Edie all he wants on that play.
Brings up fourth down as Storm Wolfel will punt it away to Bo Wisecarver. Wolfel had his last one blocked. This one's a shorter kick that'll get some good roll out near the 45. It'll be touched up at the 44-yard line by Caden Court. Still excellent starting field position for Bloom-Carroll. Already ahead big in this one, and we still got 7 minutes to go until halftime.
Yeah, and there is a lot of football to be played, but I don't think this is a point quite yet where Coach Bartholomew takes his foot off the gas. We've seen this team take instances like this where they look to strike quickly, almost kind of put the foot on the throat of the opponent here. Don't give them any air. This football game, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they take a shot down the field.
Benedict will do just that, launching down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Nearly picked off as it was good coverage by Eddie Henderly. Andrew Marshall was the intended receiver.
And I bet the Lions may have been expecting the exact same thing. I'm sure coach their guys up to be ready for a deep strike or a deep shot that Bloom-Carroll would do. Nice play there, able to get the pass break up, use the sideline as an extra defender there, and force a second down.
A few times tonight we've not seen the Bulldogs hit a big play. Benedict dumps it out in the flat, flag flies, and getting bumped out of bounds is Carter Beppler. We'll check the laundry. And it's coming back. Says Justin Bradford.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Second down.
As mentioned, Bradford, our referee tonight, and hopefully we'll get a chance to look at the rest of the officiating crew.
That's a tough play there for the Bulldogs. Jaden Ball was a little behind the play on that one. Probably didn't really need to hold on that play. Just got a little too aggressive. Cost 10 yards for the Bulldogs, and now they're in a second and 21.
Is there ever a time you need to hold? A lot of coaches say that.
Sure
you need to hold there.
Yeah, sure there is, as long as you don't get caught.
That's right.
That's the thing, Josh.
Spoken from experience, right?
Trust me, I know. I know.
There's the officials there, Marion.
We have tonight's officials. Our referee, Justin Bradford. The umpire is Ryan Smith. Our linesman, Brian Clay. Line judge is Shelton Stanley. And our back judge is Darren Hess.
So those are the gentlemen in stripes. Brings up third and long. Benedict will look over the sidelines. Change up the play. Bloom-Carroll not taking their time, I should say. There's a screen. Armentrout trying to cut it back. And he will get a good chunk with a late flag in there. It'll still be well short of the first down marker. And this one may be coming back as well. One of those necessary holds.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Third down.
And again, that time they got him with a legal block in the back this time, but possibly an unnecessary type of play, a little behind the play. Might see the offensive line with a little bit too much aggression on that one. But a nifty piece of running there by Armentrout. Nice job there to kind of bob and weave. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, but it is from the spot of the foul. So at least there's a third. It brings up a 3rd and 16 that the Bulldogs might have an opportunity to convert.
Coach Bartholomew, you won't like this. 5 penalties for 45 yards already for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that's been one area, we talked about it last week, where not too many, if you look at the total stat sheet for the Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs.
The penalty has been declined. 4th down.
Not too many areas where they lose, but penalties is one of them. On the season, 40 penalties for 310 yards total, while their opponents have only had 22 penalties for 160 yards.
On 4th down, Bulldogs are going to go for it, and they will convert. That catch is made on the sideline by Andrew Marshall. Bloom-Carroll 5 of 7 for 71% on 4th down for the season coming in, as there's a lion down on the far sideline as well, and we'll get an official's timeout. Try and check the number. Happened right around where the tackle was made.
Yeah, hopefully whichever line that is isn't a serious injury, but just another nice job by Benedict. Just throws so well on the run. Been so impressed with him. His accuracy overall, but moving to his right and throwing the ball seems to be one area that he's been incredibly strong with throughout the season, and we talked even last season. So credit to Coach Bartholomew that he knows to call plays where you take advantage of players' individual strengths there, rolling him out to his right at every opportunity to get a key 4th down in that situation. Nice job, nice play call. Receiver runs a nice route, gets open right at the sticks. 1st down, Bulldogs.
That's actually an injured Bloom-Carroll player on the far sideline.
Okay.
Saw the white pants, couldn't quite tell.
I see the white helmet now, yeah.
And that is Marshall. He's being helped off the field.
Yeah. Looks like he has a little bit of limp, but it is nice for him to walk off on his own power. And we talked about him before, Josh. Coach Bartholomew said that he was one of the most improved players for the Bulldogs, that did such a nice job of just working himself into becoming a better football player, a better athlete, and a key contributor, particularly on defense. Has done a nice job on offense as a pass catcher, but really on defense from the outside linebacker spot. He's been crucial to this defense and done a nice job. So hopefully the injury is not serious. He looks to be okay, maybe a little sore. Hope to see him back very, very soon.
Marshall, 5'11", 160-pound senior. The 1st down after the injury, and it's Bepler who gets it in the flat, breaks a tackle, and he will be taken down inside the 10-yard line. And there to make the touchdown-saving stop was Troy Myers.
Yeah, and Bepler's a guy that they don't use a ton, particularly in the receiving game, but he is still someone who can make some plays. He made a nice one there. Very shifty with the ball. Did a nice job of getting downfield. 1st down.
1st and goal to go. Harmon Trout in the backfield with Benedict, who's changing it up. Benedict looking to throw, tries to fit it in there, nearly had it intercepted as Barrett Young tried to step in the passing lane.
Yeah, we'll look here on the previous play. This is the replay of Belper. Does a nice job breaking tackles. He's got really, really good quickness, really nice quickness. Gets upfield very quickly. And fortunate for the Bulldogs in that last play that it wasn't intercepted. Benedict might have perhaps picked his receiver out of the huddle in that last one.
Here's a handoff to Armentrout, and he will walk in virtually untouched. And the lights go out once again.
Uh-oh.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen that happen in a high school.
At a high school game. That is unique and pretty cool, I have to say.
A new feature that they added this year here at Carl Fell Stadium, along with, I believe, a new scoreboard down at the other end. And so now it'll be Trayton McKee to add the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. Bulldogs add to the lead, making it 38-3.
And oh yeah, by the way, in case you forgot, they can run the football as well.
as Armitrout just walks in for an easy score on that one. They're such a balanced team, Josh. I mean, we've looked on the season. They're one of the most balanced offenses I've seen. 910 yards passing coming into this season, 950 yards rushing coming into the season. So as balanced attack as it come, and they, loosened up, if you will, this Liberty Union defense by throwing. And then just when you thought, hey, we're going to stay back, they made a nice play on defense, breaking up the pass in the end zone, almost got an interception. Oh, here comes Armitrout right up the middle into the end zone. The offensive line just road grades, clears the way. He goes in almost untouched. Another 7 points.
There you see some future Bulldog cheerleaders as we get a look at the drive summary. 8 plays, 44 yards, 2:31 off the clock, and an 8-yard touchdown run for Armitrout. And on the return is Aiden Jones. And again, the Bulldogs swarming on special teams. Clay Dozer was the first man in on the stop for Bloom-Carroll. Get another look at that return.
How many people tackled?
Yep. And you've got 5'6", coming in 7 Bulldogs around the football as he goes to the ground. Just, again, the pursuit. And that's all coaching. I mean, that's, good defensive coaches stress that every play in practice, run to the football. I'm not blowing this whistle until I see every defender run to the football.
Is that something you've got to emphasize back in camp and to start the year?
Yeah, it's a mindset, Josh. It's a mindset that the defense just has to adapt to and know every play, no matter what, I'm going to run to the football until I hear a whistle. And if I don't hear a whistle, I'm going to keep running to the football until I hear one.
Yeah, I've heard of coaches that would intentionally not blow the whistle after a play just to see how long their players would go for.
Oh, yeah. Back in high school, we had a drill. You had to run to the football and chop your feet until the coach felt like he was blowing the whistle. And if you didn't get there fast enough, you just do up downs right there because you weren't pursuing as well as you should have.
Brutal.
Yeah.
2nd and 6 from the 27, a high snap. And it's going to be the direct snap and being cut down right away. Barrett Young on the carry, but Bo Wisecarver there to chop him down.
Yeah, Brody Bishop also on the play. He's having himself a night. Again, just that pursuit. And Wisecarver, my goodness, you forget about him and Dodds. Sometimes games like this from their safety position, but they really are the anchors of this defense. That defensive line does such a good job and is so strong. But when you've got 2 athletes as good as Totten and Wisecarver at the safety spot, that makes it almost impossible. We haven't seen Liberty Union, even with an athlete as good as Denny is, be able to take any long strikes down the field, and credit to those 2 all-state safeties that have done a great job.
And a pass complete to Jacob Denny. I was just going to say he has been pretty quiet tonight, but Jacob Denny finally gets a reception here, brings up 4th down.
Yeah, Josh, and I think the Lions might have snuck a quarterback change.
Yes, I was just about to mention that too.
Yeah, Barrett Young now. We thought it was a direct snap, but it looks like he's now at the quarterback position and does a nice job, delivers a very strong on-point football to Jacob Denny, timing route that he does a nice job with.
6 foot, 185-pound senior is Barrett Young. And the Lions will be punting. Clock stopped inside of 3 to play in the half. And after this punt, we'll tell you what's coming up at the half. Wolfel lets this one go. Wisecarver will call for a fair catch at the 45. Coming up is the halftime band show, brought to you by the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Crematory and Monuments. Family owned and operated since 1889. Check them out at funeralhome.com. Frankie Smith Funeral Home, respect for tradition, regard for change. And by Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and community, we go above and beyond to help. Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do too. The difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loans specializes in banking that revolves around you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. On 1st down, the catch is made by Corey Casto. I got to think KJ Benedict may not see much action here in the second half, the way things are going for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and even so, you know, these are some pass catchers that we haven't seen a lot of either, but it looks like they haven't missed a beat.
Bubble screen to Wisecarver, gets around the block into Lion territory, runs over a man at the 36-yard line. That was Jacob Denny, receiver on receiver there.
So with Wisecarver, and me, I don't want to put you on the spot, Josh, but I'm curious as to what position they'll look to play him at the next level when he gets to college. I don't know if he's being recruited as a receiver or as a defensive back, but from what I've seen tonight, he can play either position, even on the Division I level. Just an incredible athlete, and that was on display on that last play also.
Not sure if he's being recruited for offense or defense, but his frame could be a slot receiver. Dodds with the catch. Steps out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
And you talk about how many weapons this Bloom-Carroll offense has. Brayon Dobbs, that's the first time we've called his name tonight, and he was the breakout performer last week with 3 touchdowns. But they can beat you in so many different ways. They can beat you on the ground with a plethora of running backs. They can beat you with so many different receivers. You've got Wisecarver, you've got Totten, you've got Brayon Dobbs. And that's why they're so good. I mean, let's just call it what it is. That's how they're able to make a deep run in the playoffs. You know, you have some teams that sometimes just have 1 or 2, star players. When you have a team like this that has multiple players that can make plays down the field, it just makes them that much harder to stop.
Yeah, and they're a team that generally does not beat themselves, too.
That, too. Absolutely.
Benedict throwing over the middle. Wisecarver wide open. He'll have a first down as Brandon Schreier brings him down inside the 25-yard line. Clock stopped temporarily with $1:39 to go.
And you talk about the coaching staff as well to make the shift. I think we talked about it last week when they had a player with the talent of Otto Coons and able to showcase his talents, but then make the shift with KJ Benedict, who is no slouch in his own right, but they have so many different talented players now to showcase them in different ways. The ability to be able to morph your offense, very, very impressive.
Wisecarver wide open in the flat, and he'll have a big pickup there on first down.
Timeout, Bloom-Carroll. Their first timeout of the half.
And speaking of Otto Coons, how about a little tease for the second half? I got an update on Otto Coons from our colleague Tim Shoemaker.
All right.
So
I will be interested
stay
to hear
tuned
that.
for that.
That's what they call in the business a tease, ladies and gentlemen. And Josh delivered a good one.
That's coming up here in the second half. We got 1:03 to go before our halftime band show as well. I'll tell you, this is, you talk about Bloom-Carroll, the way that their football team has been going right now, but you got to think, this athletic department in general, baseball and softball state championships in the past, boys basketball, in the past, and still to a large extent now, but under Coach Petty was really a dominant team. Football, not so much, but since Coach has come in here, Coach Bartholomew really has turned the tide on this football program and really built them into a team that is going to make a deep run into the tournament.
Yeah, and first and foremost, he's got the kids excited to play. And that's when you talk about high school kids, to have them excited to come out, show up for practice, that brings more kids out. When you have the numbers, when you have the athletes, that's step one. Then you just got to have a coach that knows what he's doing and is just smart about the game. And Coach Bartholomew is as smart as they come.
Benedict finds Dodds, but he goes backwards. As Barrett Young there to make the tackle for Liberty Union.
Excellent play there by the Liberty Union defense. So good to see them continue to show that effort and not just lay down, so to speak, and allow Bloom-Carroll another touchdown. Coming on the blitz here.
Over the middle, it's Wisecarver. He's been open quite a bit on that route.
And that was a perfectly executed defensive play. If you saw there, they brought 2 linebackers on a blitz, but they had Denny almost as kind of like a robber position, understanding that the quarterback was most likely going to go to a hot route. Denny was able to pounce on it, make the play quickly, just perfectly designed and executed play for a 3rd and long. Nice job there by Liberty Union.
Bulldogs will probably run this one down and burn a timeout. And they do with 3
Timeout.
seconds.
Bloom-Carroll. That's their second timeout of the half.
See if they give an opportunity to Trayton McKee to attempt a field goal. He nailed one early on from 24 yards, which is an area that they've wanted to improve upon, so certainly an opportunity presenting itself for the Bulldogs to work on the kicking game.
Yeah, he came into the season 1 for 4, so for a lot of schools, a lot of programs, that would be not bad. At least you have a kicker that has the ability to make one, but because this program, again, you talk about the way they've been so good, able to build the program so up. They've had such a strong kicking game over the years. Had the tremendous kicker from a couple years back. I'm blanking on his name. Forgive me. But wanting to beef up the opportunity to do that in this opportunity, so they'll try to do that with the freshman here.
McKee's kick is on the way, and it is no good. About the only thing that did not go right for the Bulldogs in this first half as they take it to the locker room leading 38-3 over Liberty Union. Stay tuned, the halftime band show is coming up next. You're watching the IVP Sports Buffalo Wild Wings Game of the Week.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, Park National Bank, Dagger Law, the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Standing Stone Bank, Fairfield DD, North Body Shop, Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Buckeye Toyota, The Carriage Company, Huddle Tire and Auto, the Fairfield County Commissioner's Office, South Central Power, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
Fairfield Medical Center took care of me like I was family.
I was made to feel like I was the only person that they were going to see that day, even though I knew that wasn't the case.
Everyone at Fairfield Medical Center was very attentive. They just put my mind at ease.
I was there for 12 days, and I felt comfortable there.
We were people to them, not a number. They took the time to get to know us, our personalities.
Well, they saved my life. How do you beat that?
I don't know how I could have gotten through it without them.
Experience Fairfield Medical Center.
Come experience the Huddle Tire difference. Locally owned and operated since 1910. We're your independent tire and auto repair shop. We carry all major brands of tires, including Goodyear, Cooper, BF Goodrich, and many more. But we're more than just tires. From safety inspections to alignments, brakes, shocks, and struts, even preventive maintenance, we can handle it all. Enjoy the ride at Huddle Tire Company, 300 South Columbus Street, or we can be reached at our website at huddletire.com.
Lender, craftsman, dog dad. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Hi, I'm Carol Whittington, and I would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, located at 1540 Hubbard Drive in Lancaster. We are a small family-owned business and have been servicing the Central Ohio and Hocking Hills area since 2003. Graduations with a personal touch, weddings with a personal touch, corporate events with a personal touch. Please call us today for all your party rental needs. 740-689-6991.
Life is unpredictable. That's why estate planning is important. Estate planning provides you comfort and peace of mind knowing that you're taking care of your loved ones and ensuring your legacy lives on just as you envisioned. You lived a life that is beautifully and uniquely yours. You deserve an estate planning attorney who understands that and creates a plan as unique as you and in the best interest of your loved ones. You deserve the local, trusted, experienced attorneys at Dagger Law.
Last year I got some. I had like 5 games. Oh, this is going to be really good. You ready? Are you next quarter? All right. go on YouTube, if you search for CLN, you'll be able to watch the game. It'll be on
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present the pride of Bulldog Country, the 2021 Bloom-Carroll Marching Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are led by Field Commanders Kennedy Breen and Sidney DeSalvo. Tonight, the Marching Bulldogs present their competition show entitled Haunted Treasure, featuring soloists Sidney DeSalvo, Cameron Malone, Bryson Herman, Kennedy Breen, Lexi Towler, and Bree Mullins. Please welcome the Bulldogs.
Why are the football players out there? 5'11", everything. He had 6 points for the ball. Well, wearing the jerseys. He had to drop it. I know. It's Jack Sparrow. I'm wondering where this is going to go.
The Marching Bulldogs will begin their competitive season tomorrow at home at the 28th Annual
Hi, this is Kristen Glazier with Fairhope Hospice and Palliative Care, and we are here to provide compassionate end-of-life care, comfort, and relief for those experiencing grief in our community. This month, we are very grateful to be chosen as a recipient of Buckeye Toyota's Buckeye Cares program. That means that Buckeye Toyota will make a very generous donation with every vehicle they sell this month. Thank you, Buckeye Toyota, for helping our community.
Thank you for calling Buckeye Toyota. How may I help you?
Swing into the Carriage Company and check out our sweet deals.
If you're looking for the best selection of clean, quality used vehicles, look no further than the Carriage Company. You'll feel secure with your purchase, knowing all vehicles undergo an extensive safety and service check prior to the sale. And all vehicles can be viewed online at carriagecompany.com. The Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive in Lancaster.
So wait!
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, Park National Bank, Dagger Law, the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Standing Stone Bank, Fairfield DD, North Body Shop, Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Buckeye Toyota, the Carriage Company, Huddle Tire and Auto, the Fairfield County Commissioner's Office, South Central Power, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
Fell Stadium in Carroll, where the Bulldogs lead the Lions 38-3. Josh Messerly alongside Marion Royster, and as we kind of figured, a very one-sided first half, and Bloom-Carroll showed why they're the number 2 team in Division 4.
Yes, they did. They put on an impressive show. As I said before, in all 3 phases of the game, the offense was able to do a very nice job. KJ Benedict, 3 touchdowns. Throwing, also had a touchdown on the ground. And then defensively, they got a pick 6, score for a touchdown, and then they blocked the punt in the kicking game. So a really nice job putting everything together, as they say, for the Bulldogs in the first half, and just an impressive showing thus far.
It will be Liberty Union to get the second half kickoff as both teams switch sides. Nice crowd here on hand at Carl Fell Stadium, and folks really looking forward to supporting their Bulldogs. And that's one thing, and we say that about probably every place we go, but certainly here in Bulldog country, the fans show up and really support their hometown team.
Yeah, they really do. They have continued to support them. They've seen the evolution, if you want to use that word, of this Bulldog football team, and they've continued to get better and better every year, as you talked about, Josh, with Coach Bartholomew. They're just an impressive team, an impressive program, and that draws attention from the community. It's already an already strong community, but makes it even that much stronger support for the football team as they're able to have success.
Aiden Jones and Landon Picarillo. It'll be Jones slipping through a tackle as he gets it out near the 20-yard line, where the Lions will start 1st and 10. Give you a couple of scores from some other games at the half. It is Lancaster leading Central Crossing 22-20. In the Mid-State League tonight at the half, Amanda Clear Creek leading Circleville 21-13. How about this score, Marion? Fairfield Union 14, Logan Elm 7 at the half.
Wow.
And another one in the Mid-State League we were looking at halftime. Kind of a surprise as well. Hamilton Township all over Tays Valley, 21-0 at halftime.
Wow. That's an impressive job. We talked about Hamilton Township not having a whole lot of games yet, but impressive job thus far, putting 21 points on Tays Valley.
Brandon Schreier on the carry on 1st down with a flag thrown in. Looks like this is going to come back for a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
So back up the Lions inside of
the
10-yard line.
Not the kind of start you want to have for the Lions coming out of the locker room, going in the wrong direction, and now you've got a 20 yards to get to convert the 1st down.
There's a little razzle-dazzle play, and that will go for very little, as it was Troy Myers on the carry, and he loses a yard. As we'll get a chance to take a look at the first half stats, and no surprise, one-sided in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, pretty dominant showing, as we talked about, for the Bulldogs, and you talk about, again, they've been such a balanced team. so far this season, but tonight not so much because KJ Benedict has just done such a nice job of delivering the football with accuracy and timing. So just a huge half for them, 246 yards in the first half, and just a lopsided showing.
Certainly penalty is going to be an area that the Bulldogs try and clean up. This one launched out of bounds as Barrett Young in at quarterback for Liberty Union. We saw him at the tail end of the first half. Not sure if they're just giving Brown a little bit of rest. Sometimes you get another look at someone else, and you never know. There could be an injury where you need to have someone else with some experience.
Yeah, depth at every position so important, but particularly at the quarterback position, and they're already down one, losing perhaps their strongest player, Caden Carroll, certainly the number one playmaker. So the ability to have multiple guys that you can count on, depend on, and have confidence in is huge, and better time as any in this situation to try to get him some looks.
And it's going to be Young keeping it, pushing out to near the 15-yard line. We'll get enough for the first down yards, of course, but just enough to clear it out for the Lions to punt as we're down inside of 9 minutes to play in the quarter. Should remind you that the score differential warrants the running clock, so unless it drops below 30, we're going to be seeing the running clock here for most of the second half.
Continuous nice job of just pursuit of the football, gang tackling by Bloom-Carroll, not giving the Lions any air on that drive to get anything going.
Wolfel will let this one go. A nice punt that hits at the 40. Flag back near the line of scrimmage. We'll check that as it's touched up. We'll hear again from Justin Bradford, our referee tonight. He's thrown immediately at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation. Kicking team, 5 players in the backfield. The 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. First down, Bloom-Carroll.
So Carroll will start in Liberty Union territory.
And you talked about those penalties on the halftime stats, Josh. A game like tonight, 38-3 at the half, may not have a huge bearing in tonight, but Coach Bartholomew knows if they consider themselves a championship team, a deep run play, a deep run in the playoffs team, perhaps even a state championship team, those are the things that they've got to clean up, have to continue to get better and really strive for perfection on all phases, but particularly in those penalties.
Ethan Thanavong is into the ball game, and we're going to start to see some reserves. As there you see our location. He's Marion. I'm Josh. And that's Jim Spires down there on the camera.
And we have some lights, folks.
We
didn't have any in the first half. We couldn't read our sheets.
Let there be light.
That's right.
Second down and 10 from the 48. As you see, a lot of folks packed in here. Bundled up a little bit. It's getting to be a little chillier. It was beautiful before the game started, though.
Yes, it was.
And Thanavong back to pass. He's going to dump out in the flats and making the catch and getting knocked down immediately. It's number 23, Colin Willett, a 5'9", 195-pound junior.
And I want to point out something subtle on that one. That's the intelligence of a player like Denny. 20 years ago, he probably would have tried to take the receiver's head off on that one. But understand that he doesn't want to get called for a targeting play. Coming in, has a chance to take a big shot, just gets the guy on the ground, make sure he doesn't get himself, a penalty or ejected from the game. You make the tackle just the same. And that's an adjustment, for old school guys like me and you that, that aren't used to that. But it's a safety issue, and that's the way the game's played now.
And also, to your point, maybe a sign of maturity as well not to do something like that that could cost your team down the road.
Yeah, especially when you're down in a game like this. Sometimes frustrations boil over. So Denny, credit to him. Again, just a little subtle thing. But he's a smart player and a good, clean player above all else, and didn't take the opportunity to have a potentially illegal hit there.
Owen Smith on that last option picks up a first down for Bloom-Carroll. Ask you after this play what both coaches may be trying to look for here in the second half. And Thanavong will work out of the pistol. And he will hand off, and Schreier there to blow that one up, as that carry was Isaiah Roberts for a short gain. But what are both coaches trying to work on here in the second half? Because obviously the game looks to be decided. So what do you work on, in a game like this?
Well, I think for Bloom-Carroll, it's just to continue to execute, maybe get your younger guys a look, and having that same expectation in your younger guys as you have in your older guys, to get them some time and prove to yourself that you can still move the football, you can still run your offense, you can still execute what you want to execute, even with some of the younger guys in there. And then for Liberty Union, I think it's just a matter of confidence, of getting your guys, some reps, and perhaps, we're taking a look at a different quarterback, Barrett Young, maybe get him some looks. And again, just understand that you just want to have some momentum. There's still a lot of season left to be played for Liberty Union. They've got some games that they certainly can win, that they'll probably expect to win going in down the stretch. They've still got Fairfield Union. They've still got Logan Elm, teams that have shown some fight, but I think that they will feel confident going into those games. So you want to get some momentum in this game. Teach your guys, that the season's certainly not over. They still have, an opportunity to do some great things, and perhaps even, make the playoffs depending how things shake out.
Injury on the play is Isaiah Roberts, and we'll get another look at that.
Yeah, we'll look here at the replay, try to see where the injury comes.
Just been tackled awkwardly, went down awkwardly.
Yeah, looked like a few guys landed on him, and that's always not a good sign. Hope he's okay.
Roberts, a senior, 5'9", 160 pounds. Is Coach Bartholomew and the training staff out taking a look at him.
Yeah, and Roberts has had a good season in his own right. 110 yards coming into this game, has scored a couple touchdowns. And that depth at the running back position, they really have 5 guys, I think. When you talk about Armitrout, Plants, Dozer has done a nice job, and then sometimes they even line Wisecarver up because of his athleticism in the backfield. I'm sure Roberts, is a guy again that they can run the ball a little bit. They'll hope that this isn't a serious injury because it's it's a nice thing to have that depth at the running back position.
And here's a look at the upcoming schedule for Bloom-Carroll. They'll be at home next week against Liberty Union. The way the score's holding up right now, Tays Valley goes down to Hamilton Township. That Week 10 game at Hamilton Township could decide the conference.
Right, it could, and we thought originally that Tays Valley was going to be the collision course game for Bloom-Carroll at 5-0. Hamilton Township, we talked to you and I talked off camera about how they'd had some cancellations, so it was kind of tough to gauge what type of football team they were. But Tays Valley has certainly proved that they're a really good football team, and Hamilton Township handling them is very, very impressive. And again, that Week 10 matchup could be for the league. Who knows?
We'll take a look here at Liberty Union's schedule in a moment. Bulldogs have it 3rd and 6 to 31. And here's a handoff, and looks like going to be just shy. A.J. Moore on that carry.
Nice job picking up the linebacker blitz by the Bulldog offensive front there.
There's a look at the Liberty Union upcoming schedule, and doesn't get much easier going back home to play Logan Elm next week.
No, it doesn't, and especially when you talk about the 2 games prior to the Logan Elm game, they played an undefeated Tays Valley team, and of course tonight taking on this undefeated Bloom-Carroll team. But Fairfield Union, again, while they're has shown some flashes, still kind of struggling a little bit, trying to figure out their program. Same with Circleville. So an opportunity for Liberty Union to still finish above 500 and perhaps have a good season.
And having a good play there is A.J. Moore. He'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A.J. Moore, a 5'10", 150-pound sophomore.
Yeah, nice job by Moore there, just getting downhill quickly. Almost looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Just hit the hole immediately. Nice job by the offensive line, to create such a wide running lanes as they're continuing to do that. Moore hadn't had a whole lot of work on the ground coming into this game. Only had five attempts, negative yardage, but after that play, no more negative yardage.
I tell you, that helps from yards per carry.
Yeah, it does, absolutely.
Here's a replay.
And you're just going to see it's just a straight draw here. They're going to stick it in his chest. Nice job there up front. And Moore goes untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
And that gives us an opportunity to remind you our second half scoreboard sponsor tonight is Buckeye Lake Marina. If you're looking for a new boat, a great pre-owned watercraft, or a place to get parts for your boat, Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. More information can be found at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
And we'll also take an opportunity to thank Standing Stone Bank. Whether you're ready to tackle a mortgage loan or need cash for home improvements, make Standing Stone Bank the key player in your home or business financial plans. Business to business, neighbor to neighbor. Let's grow this town together. Standing Stone Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Here's a look at Coach Bartholomew in season number 8. He's led the Bulldogs to the playoffs the last 5 seasons. This one a short kick, taken about the 25-yard line, and that's Myers on the return. And we'll get a couple there on the return. And we'll see the Liberty Union offense back out on the field. Of course, you know, if you're Liberty Union, devastating loss the last 2 weeks coming into tonight. Looks like it's going to go that way again. Season's not over, though. 16 teams in the playoffs. They're going to get an opportunity. We'll take a look here in a little bit about the computer points, but you see that last drive, 7 plays, 48 yards, 433, and it results in the 29-yard touchdown run.
Yeah. And stuff up here, not much gain there for Brandon Shirer for the Lions. But, yeah, they, you know, and again, this team, remember, is a program that was 0-10 just a couple years ago. Played a lot of young guys out here, and we're in a lot of games in that 0-10 season. So, you know, it's growing pains, you know, when you're trying to build a program like this. So, you know, they've shown flash. They had a really good season last season and have had to overcome a lot of adversity. I don't know if there's any worse adversity than losing your number one offensive player. But, you know, they're trying to work through those things and doing the best they can.
Jack Brown back in the game at quarterback, carries there and steps out of bounds for a short gain. Well, and you know, tonight you come in not having one of your better defensive linemen, McClaskey. You lose an offensive lineman, you know, and you've had a couple guys here and there nicked up. I mean, you know, unfortunately for a Division V school like Liberty Union, it doesn't take a lot in an injury department to start adding up.
Yeah, and I know that's disappointing that the injury bug has bit the Lions a little bit because they came into the season with some high hopes, finished 7-2 last year, won a playoff game, and had, you know, so many good, you know, a lot of seniors coming back. Jacob Denny, you know, leading the charge of all of them, and that's disappointing. But still, you know, the season's not over, as you said. Opportunity to do some things and build some positive momentum and keep your program going in the right direction above all else.
Brown's pass complete to Austin Eady. Be short of the sticks, and the Lions are going to send out the punt unit. We're inside of 90 seconds to play in a rapidly moving third quarter.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that, you know, the Bulldogs have taken, well, many things they've taken pride in, but this defense has just done a tremendous job throughout the season. Only allowed 10 points in their last 3 games, and 7 of those points in last week's game came at the end, and I think it's something that they're going to want to continue to try to keep the Lions out of the end zone regardless of who's on the field throughout the rest of this ballgame.
Wolfel's punt will be touched up at the 42-yard line, and the Union will take over with 52 seconds left in the quarter.
And Coach Bartholomew giving direction there again, and I just continue to be so impressed with the things that he's done with this program, with the, you know, the different. You know, it's just a testament to see how well KJ Benedict has played. You know, he's, you know, 74% completion percentage, as we said, coming into this game. Had a stellar first half, but, you know, the ability it's things like that. When you see high completion percentages, not just on the quarterback, the receivers have to make the plays too. They have to catch the ball and make those things happen. So it's just their offense runs so smooth. They make big plays. They short plays, long plays. Just the consistency and the efficiency in this offense. Coach Bartholomew, just almost like a well-oiled machine, just keeps things rolling.
Eli Rickley there on the carry. We'll get a look at that. And wanting nothing to do with that was Jacob McLean, who blew it up in the backfield for a loss. And that will likely take us to the end of the third quarter. It's been all Bulldogs in this one.
And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter, where the score is 45.
And as we come to the end of the third quarter, Josh, let's take a second to thank another one of our sponsors, Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks to Larry Tipton and the crew for great food, great service, and the best sports viewing in town. It's all at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Plaza Shopping Center on North Memorial Drive in Lancaster.
Also, we want to mention our timeouts tonight were brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive in Lancaster. You can learn more at carriagecompany.com. All right, I probably teased it long enough, the Otto Kuhn's update.
We've been waiting with
information during halftime, but our colleague Tim Shoemaker, who hopefully will be back with us here in the next couple of weeks, sent this note that Otto Kuhn's, of course, at Eastern Illinois, was in a quarterback competition in the offseason and was given the opportunity to start a couple of games this year. Has actually put up some pretty good numbers for Eastern Illinois. 253 yards in a loss against Indiana State, but had a rushing touchdown. Didn't play against South Carolina. Played a little bit against Dayton, had a touchdown there. Illinois State last week had 168 yards passing and a touchdown. So on the year, about 481 yards, 3 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. 3 interceptions, he can work on that. But in 3 games, and they've got Tennessee Tech tomorrow. So Otto Kuhn's, though, making some strides at a school that's produced a pretty good quarterback in Tony Romo.
Yep.
And you were telling me Sean Payton went there?
Yes, Sean Payton is an alum. I think that's how he had the connection with Tony Romo and drafted him when he was offensive coordinator for the Cowboys.
Nice connection there as Jake Mitchell hauls in the pass from Ethan Thanafong. And it'll be a first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Thanafong, again, that's a beautiful ball that he put up there. Just laid it right out there. And,
dead ball. Sideline warning. Bloom-Carroll. No yardage is assessed. Result of the play is a first down.
So that won't affect the play, and it'll still stay a first down for the Bulldogs. And more importantly for Jake Mitchell, this play is going to count.
Yep, and again, just a beautiful ball. Nice camera angle there as we look at Thanafong just dropping it right in the bucket. Nice job giving the receiver enough opportunity to still catch the ball and stay in bounds. Nice job of just a straight go route. Jake Mitchell just blows by the defender. Big play.
Great view there from Tom Russo's camera on the sidelines. There's Tom with that great shot on the reception. Tom going shirt sleeve tonight. He's tougher than both of us.
He is tougher. About halfway through the second quarter, I had to break out the sweatshirt here. It's gotten a little chilly, maybe a little more chilly for us up in the booth.
That's true. First and 10 from the 26. Bulldogs taking their time as the running clock continues.
Didn't quite get a chance to finish the thought you had about Otto Kuhn's, but it's just so encouraging to see a player of Otto Kuhn's, merit, if you will, just do well at the next level. Certainly has the talent to do so. As you mentioned, Josh, Eastern Illinois, certainly a no slouch of a school and a great factory for a quarterback to go through. And it's great to see him performing at the next level and gives encouragement and hope for a lot of the players for Bloom-Carroll that, hey, this is a guy that I went through drills with and was able to take us to the next level. Gives these guys, and you talked about Weiscarver getting some looks as well. That's what programs like this need, to continue to grow, to take the next step. Guys going to the next level, performing it there. It's just really nice to see.
Yeah, another guy from Bloom-Carroll, Tom Crabtree, played for the Green Bay
Right.
Packers, won
Yes.
a Super Bowl as well.
That's right.
So, you know, more guys, to your point, that can build the story of the program.
That's right. And it gets younger guys excited about the program, and the more numbers you get, the more athletes you get an opportunity to have, the better you are.
Santana Vong on 4th down, throws it too far for his intended receivers. The Bulldogs will turn it over on downs. 8:17 to go in this ball game. And coming up here in a moment, we'll take a look at the computer points for both of these two teams. We talked about, the season's not being over yet. Obviously, Bloom-Carroll sitting in pretty good position, being undefeated. But, Liberty Union still has something to play for. And I think you touched on this a little bit last week. It gives incentive for teams that may have felt like they were out of it, just playing the string out. Now with 16 teams getting in, your season's not over yet. You can still keep going and keep improving.
Yeah, it keeps it more exciting and keeps the kids more engaged, to be quite honest, and that's a good thing. Even in games when you get later in the season, if you got a team that might have been right around 500, you hate to say it, but some kids might mail it in and they'll start thinking about basketball. But it's more likely that you'll have more competitive games as you have guys that still want to try and make a playoff run if they can do that. So I'm glad that they made that change. You're seeing that at all different levels. You're seeing obviously at the bowl level. As we look at the computer points here, Bloom-Carroll doesn't have any worries about that, as they're head and shoulders above the top of their region. But it's good to see the 16 team opportunity here for the computer points, and Bloom-Carroll leading the way.
Vinton County would come here to Carl Fell Stadium if the playoffs started today, so it'll be interesting to see how those will move as the season goes along. And we'll take a look at Liberty Union after this play. Brown looking downfield, finding no one. He's just going to run it, and he will step out of bounds. Looks like he'll have enough for a first down. And here is the Division 5 Region 19, where both Amanda Clear Creek and Liberty Union. Lions still have a little bit of work, though, if they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they do. But again, at 2-3, and it looks like after tonight they'll be 2-4. But a couple, again, teams that they'll see down the stretch that I think that they would have confidence going in, think that they can play with and win those games. They're probably going to get some help. You have a lot of those other teams that still have some tough matchups to come in their season. So, there's going to be some movement even there at the bottom, and a reason for Liberty Union to keep going out there trying to get better every week, improve their team. And, anything can happen when you have a format such as we have now in the OHSAA.
Good effort by Jack Brown on that carry, picking up a first down for the Lions out near midfield. Speaking of the Aces, they are winning in the third quarter at Circleville, 35-13. Fairfield Union still leading Logan Elm in the fourth, 21-7. Other scores in the OCC, Pick Central, no problem right now with Newark, 55-zip. Lancaster leading Central Crossing 29-20 in the third. Pick North leading Westerville Central 29-15 in the third. Brown looking to throw, and he will throw it out of bounds. Ran out of real estate. And I'll check on the Hamilton Township score from earlier. 33. Let's see.
Oh,
high snap. Brown is going to get taken down the backfield. And that high snap really just kind of changed the complexion of that play.
Yeah, Jack Brown did a nice job just catching that snap. Had the athleticism to go up high, not make a bad play turn into a really, really, really awful play. And those are the things that you want to clean up when you have a situation. At the end of the game where, like I said, positive momentum, so important to just kind of get some rhythm to your offense, especially when you're going against a lot of the second teamers and younger guys for Bloom-Carroll. But it looks like we got a flag on this play as well.
That'll stop it before it starts.
Dead ball. Snap infraction. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Time running down here. We'll, in a couple of moments, start to name our players of the game as well. We'll talk about our Bloom-Carroll player of the game, which is probably going to be a harder decision than we know.
Yeah.
Brown dropping back. He'll throw it near side. That's Hanson with the catch. And he'll bring up 4th down. Tonight's Bloom-Carroll player of the game is brought to you by Park National Bank. Park National is a family of community banking teams delivering an exceptional breadth and depth of resources to individuals and businesses, providing a hands-on, personalized approach to service and strong local leadership that invests deeply in the places we live and work. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Wolfel will let it go on 4th down. Takes a Lions roll, and we'll get some good roll out of this one inside the 15-yard line, where it'll be touched up. Marion, we've given you a couple extra seconds with that punt rolling down.
Yeah,
to help you with your
I was trying to take all the time I could there, Josh. It's a tough one. We've had several nice performances tonight. Broden Bishop with the pick 6, and also played very strong run coverage from his cornerback position tonight. Of course, you can never say enough about the defensive line led by Luke Farrell and Bo Weiscarver playing such a nice game, scoring the first 2 touchdowns of the game. But I think tonight we're going to give the player of the game to KJ Benedict, the quarterback for Bloom-Carroll, the starting quarterback for Bloom-Carroll. 3 touchdowns and perhaps his most yardage-wise game. Really just blew the game open. Delivered dime after dime tonight to his receivers. Showed really good timing, really good patience in the pocket, and his normal incredible accuracy was really just the driving force in getting a fast start for the Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs and getting a big win for Bloom-Carroll tonight.
Roberts on that last carry. Can there be an unsung player on that Bloom-Carroll offense? If it is, there is. Benedict, it seems like he's the guy that just doesn't get the hype that maybe some of the others do.
Yeah, he might be that guy again, because he's just not, we talk about Kuz, and he was such a physical, imposing presence. He was, 6'5" and could stride and run. And Benedict, a shorter guy, but yet just delivers in the pocket, showed really good pocket awareness several times tonight, and just does a tremendous job continuing to throw on the run as we take a look at him there. Not a guy of big stature, but effective nonetheless, efficient with this offense, and I know Coach Bartholomew is happy to have him on his team.
And after this play, we'll talk about our Liberty Union player of the game. It'll be 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs as we are nearing a minute to play in this 4th quarter. The running clock certainly makes this second half go a lot quicker.
Yes, it does.
Be a handoff straight ahead for a short gain. Once again by Roberts. Tonight's Liberty Union player of the game is brought to you by the Edwards Insurance Agency, specializing in the needs of our individual clients. Contact Todd or Dale Edwards today.
Yeah, tough night all around for Liberty Union. Not a whole lot, particularly on offense, that they were able to do. But they were able to put some points on the board tonight, and continue to be strong in the kicking game. And that is largely due to their kicker, Storm Warfel, who made a field goal in the first half of this ball game and kind of kept things going. So we'll name him our player of the game for Liberty Union.
And he had a 40-yard field goal, in fact, and not only at the high school, not the NFL and college level, but at the high school level, a 40-yard field goal, that's pretty good.
Very impressive, very impressive.
And very impressive tonight were the Bloom-Carroll Bulldogs as they defeat the Liberty Union Lions. Final score 45-3. And the Bulldogs will move on next week to take on Fairfield Union here at home, as Liberty Union will go back home and play Logan Elm next week. And speaking of next week, we'll be at Fulton Field as we'll get our first look at the Fisher Catholic Irish as they host the Bishops of Bishop Rosecrans. And it'll be interesting to see how the Irish look this year.
Yeah, and they've kind of been a team that's had some good spots and down spots. They've had a couple nice wins that we've seen, and then a couple letdown wins. It's again a program that's kind of trying to build things up upon itself, get things going in the right direction. So I'll be excited to see them next week, and should be a good matchup against Rosecrans.
Indeed it will. We'll bring that to you here on IVP Sports. With the win, Bloom-Carroll stays perfect and improves to 6-0, and Liberty Union sees their record fall to 2-4. That'll wrap things up here from Carl Fell Stadium. For Marion Royster and our entire IVP Sports crew, I'm Josh Messerly saying once again the final score, Bloom-Carroll 45, Liberty Union 3. Thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, Park National Bank, Dagger Law, the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield Federal, Fairfield DD, North Body Shop, Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Buckeye Toyota, the Carriage Company, Huddle Tire and Auto, the Fairfield County Commissioner's Office, South Central Power, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina.